Well, welcome back to the talk. Failed asylum seekers are going to be paid thousands of pounds to encourage them to move to Rwanda under a new voluntary scheme devised by desperate ministers. The new agreement with the East African country, which is quite separate to the hopeless deportation scheme, which has never yet got off the ground, is designed to remove tens of thousands of migrants who have no right to remain in the UK. And under the plans, the agreement would rely on existing return systems that allow asylum seekers and foreign criminals and other migrants financial assistance. It's worth up to £3,000, and that helps them return to their home country. The move comes as the government battles to get flights off the ground as its deportation scheme remains bogged down in the House of Lords. So far, the UK has spent a whopping £240 million on the failed initiative, despite not one single asylum seeker being successfully sent there. I mean, this whole thing beggars belief, doesn't it? What is our obsession with Rwanda? Why are we paying anyone £3,000 who shouldn't have come here in the first place? Their case has either got no foundation or is quite obviously questionable. And I just feel this is yet another pull factor. What we've got to stop doing is putting things in place that make it ever less risky for people to make those journeys across the channel or however else they get here. We've already got many, many things that encourage people to come here. First of all, the actual very low probability that they're ever going to be sent home. Secondly, the longer they get to sit around here, the more likely they are to establish ties here, you know, build relationships and all sorts of things that then allow them to claim successfully for a status to remain here. And simply adding an extra incentive here, well, psychologically, if you're thinking, shall I make this crossing? Shall I gamble on setting up a new life in the UK? It's actually a pretty fair bet. What's the worst that's going to happen? Well, the absolute worst that's going to happen is you get offered £3,000 to go to Rwanda, where £3,000 is going to last a pretty long time.
Yeah, it's crazy that the incentive to stop more illegal immigration is to offer people more money, guaranteed. If you apply and you fail, here's £3,000, and we can send you to Rwanda or back to your home country.
It's nice money for a lot of people. That is a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it would take a huge amount of change in the law, but I would like us to go down the route of America with Obama when he was in charge. Anyone who comes into the country illegally is instantly deported.
Yes.
Anyone who comes in the country from a foreign country and commits a crime, instantly deported.
You know, it's interesting you touched on the Obama point, because he not only said they're instantly deported, he also mentioned they go to the back of the queue. So he was like, you not only get instantly deported, but you do not get to jump the queue in front of people that are trying to move to the UK legally. So you have to go to the back of the queue. All the kind of legal migrants cases have to be heard, and then you can reapply. And then after 10 years, once you've established ties, I mean, he was quite elaborate about it, and now Joe Biden has completely scuppered that plan. But he's right. I think, yes, it does beg a belief, but I think one of the reasons why the government is doing it is because they're trying to boost numbers. Because if they have more of these people voluntarily going to Rwanda, well, yeah, all 10 of them, before the election,
get it above naught.
Yeah, before the election, they can say, look, we've sent thousands of people in the last like 2-3 months to Rwanda. Our scheme is not a fail. And it's like, look, hold on, but this is like paying squatters to leave your home. It doesn't make any logical sense. And the government doesn't want to admit that actually a lot of these asylum seekers and people that are coming in, they can't return them anywhere because they don't know where they're coming from. They've either come with no documents or false documents. They can game the system by getting Church of England priests to say they've converted to Christianity. I mean, the whole thing is a shambles.
Just imagine if there's a group of them that just decide to do this together. Between them, they're going to cash in, aren't they? You know, 5 of them, they're 15 grand. Happy days.
But it's all born of, this has become now a governmental neurosis.
Yeah.
They've got some kind of, Rishi has caught some kind of mental condition where he thinks that if I could just get one migrant to Rwanda, then I'll be vindicated.
No.
You know, offering people who came here illegally £3,000
bribing.
Well,
to go to a foreign country, it's just insane.
But Kevin, you're right thinking about, you know, how anxious Rishi Sunak is, but of course I think that it all goes back to a certain bet that Rishi Sunak made with somebody from this parish. Let's have a quick look.
Oh, yeah.
I'll bet you £1,000 to a refugee charity you don't get anybody on those planes before the election. Will you take that bet?
Well, I want to get the people on the planes, right? Of course I want to get the people on the planes.
£1,000.
Right? I want to get the people on the planes.
I think Piers' £1,000 is as safe as houses. There's absolutely no way. And every time I see some nuttier and nuttier plan of how can we get somebody to Rwanda, you know, let's give them £3,000. Although was it the NAO came out last week saying that it looks like for if and when, so, you know, one asylum seeker is sent to Rwanda, they're going to cost £171,000 per person in costs to get them there. And so actually £3,000 total drop in the ocean.
And what are the Rwandans doing with all this money? I'd like to know. I mean, it's a huge amount of generosity from the British taxpayer going to a frankly pretty questionable, dodgy country.
And by the way, the government are going to try to get this through without a vote. They think they can do that just within their remit as the government. Well, they're going to commit a lot of taxpayers' money to this. And I think there should be a real row of making them put this to the vote. It's not right that they should just sort of autocratically decide, oh, we're just going to give these people all this money, it's your money, but we're not going to consult with the parliamentary
then again, they
process.
just autocratically decided to appoint a foreign secretary who's not a member of the House of Commons. I mean,
I still think we're going to send that idiot out campaigning because he thinks Cameron's going to win him the election.
I still think we're going to get more Rwandan refugees coming here than we're going to send across there. That's still part of the deal. We have to accept vulnerable people from Rwanda.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. It's not going to make any difference, isn't it? It's not even, however many gets onto these planes, it's not going to solve our problem, is it?